What are you doing, Haley?
Good. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the famous Grey's Anatomy guest stars that may have slipped your memory. We're only including performers who appeared in limited episodes, so major recurring roles don't count. But beware of spoilers ahead.
Ruby, your mom is gonna be fine.
Really?
Absolutely.
Number 30, Cody Christian. Many TV viewers first saw this actor in a notable role on Pretty Little Liars. He notably followed it up with another recurring part on Teen Wolf before making it big with All American. Before featuring as a TV regular though, Christian appeared in a guest spot on Grey's Anatomy. The then teenage performer played Brad Walker, a patient with unexplainable abdominal pain.
When you have a Spanish test or have to give a presentation in history class.
Stress can exacerbate abdominal pain.
Please, doctor, don't encourage him. He's just faking so he can miss school.
I am not.
The character gets a lot of grief from his parents, who are convinced he's faking it. As it turns out though, Brad's condition is anything but make-believe. The episode's tone quickly shifts to grim as his life hangs in the balance. Thankfully, Alex Karev and company help the boy pull through.
You call that fine?
Dude, seriously, we're the only reason your kid's alive.
Okay, Karev.
If you'd had it your way, you'd have been home when Brad's aorta ruptured and he'd be dead right now. Think about how much school he'd be missing then, huh?
Number 29, Sarah Gilbert. This longtime TV actress has an impressive list of credits stretching back to her youth. Of course, most know her from her days as Darlene Connor on Roseanne, a role she reprised for the follow-up series The Connors. Gilbert is no stranger to medical dramas either, having appeared in ER and Grey's spin-off Private Practice in a different role. In the flagship series, she played Kim Allen, a patient with terminal cancer.
And this can serve as her second oral request.
Okay.
You have to say it.
In an episode dealing with highly sensitive subject matter, Kim requests physician assistance to end her life. The topic is handled with care and grace, as the story deals with the ethics behind this decision.
We can make this place like home, you know? Get rid of all these machines and get some of our stuff. My quilt, some pictures.
Gilbert's performance goes a long way in asserting that her talents aren't limited to the realm of comedy. Number 28, Josh Radner. Josh Radner is most famous for playing Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother, where he engaged in classic schmosby behavior for 9 years.
Mosby's designs has failed, but Alex and Jessica's love reminds us that
He's also written and directed critically praised films like Liberal Arts. In 2018, after starring in the musical drama Rise, Radner made an appearance on Grey's. While many guest stars tend to be patients, Radner never steps foot in the hospital. His character John meets Meredith for a blind date. Things are set up like a rom-com meet-cute, as the pair realize they were supposed to meet different people. Unfortunately, he blows it after saying the worst thing he could, ending any chance of a romance.
By the end of the first date, they're talking marriage. Kids can make women so...
Desperate?
Well, I don't want to call it that.
It looks like his schmosby antics go far beyond How I Met Your Mother.
Classic Schmosby.
Number 27, Laurie Metcalf. Metcalf is acting royalty. Along with an Oscar nomination for Lady Bird, she's bagged multiple Emmy noms for her work in Roseanne, The Big Bang Theory, Hacks, and many others. Whether it's through comedy or drama, she knows how to tug at our heartstrings. She does just that as Beatrice Carver on Grey's Anatomy. Beatrice has terminal cancer, but keeps her daughter shielded from her condition.
I'll have the nurse bring a menu by and we can have a picnic in bed.
God, Mom, how many doctors do you have?
They were just leaving.
Despite the doctor's best efforts, the character isn't long for this world. In a scene that demonstrates Metcalf's skills as a performer, Beatrice reveals the truth to her daughter, making us bawl. And while Metcalf has quite a few Emmys to her name, it's a shame she didn't snag one for this role.
So you're gonna feel sad for a little while. And that's okay, that's fine. But don't feel sad forever. Okay.
Number 26, Mae Whitman. You may know her as a child actor from projects like Independence Day and Friends, or as a young adult in shows like Arrested Development and Parenthood. You might even recall her voice as Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Whatever the medium, Mae Whitman has a pretty long resume, which is why her appearance on Grey's Anatomy goes overlooked.
What are you all staring at? Really, if you're expecting me to be the brave and heartwarming differently abled girl, that isn't gonna happen, so go ahead and do your thing.
The actress plays teenager Heather Douglas, a patient with advanced scoliosis that impacts her ability to walk. Although the character has been through a lot, she puts up a defiant and determined attitude.
Well, so much for my theory that life doesn't suck for pretty people. I'm sorry I was such a bitch to you.
This wins Izzy's sympathy, who anonymously provides a generous donation that makes Heather's dream come true. Given the show's track record, it's an unusually heartwarming conclusion. Not that we're complaining. Number 25, Alysa Milano. After receiving her big break as a young actress on the sitcom Who's the Boss, Alysa Milano transitioned to more mature roles. Her most famous turn remains in the hit fantasy Charmed, playing fan favorite Phoebe Halliwell. In 2019, Grey's got Milano on board, alongside her Charmed co-star Holly Marie Combs. The actresses again play sisters, although these are of the bickering sort.
She walks into a dig site and dies? Come on, I don't accept that. I'm sorry. This is not how we end. Where are you going? I don't know! Okay.
They arrive at the hospital after their younger sister Heather experiences a tragic accident. The pair spend the episode debating her life support until coming to a decision. But as luck would have it, the patient wasn't their sister to begin with.
God, it's Heather! Wait, like her spirit? Oh my God, what is she saying?
No, she's alive! She's not dead! Somebody stole her bag.
Ah! Who is this woman?
Even over a decade since Charmed, Milano and Combs' on-screen chemistry shines through. Number 24, Hilary Burton Morgan.
People tell you all the time you have really pretty eyes. Were they hazel? Blue? They're blue.
I'm married. I'm happily married.
For years, Burton Morgan played with fans' hearts as part of the Lucas Peyton super couple on One Tree Hill. She's also known as insurance investigator Sarah Ellis, sharing some steamy chemistry with Matt Bomer's con artist in White Collar. After her tenures on both shows, she showed up for a divisive arc on Grey's Anatomy. She plays Dr. Lauren Boswell, a character who puts the nail in the coffin for Callie and Arizona's marriage. As soon as they meet, she makes her interest in Arizona clear.
I can't. I don't want to talk about this right now. I'm not gonna leave things like this, though. I like you a lot.
With her and Callie on the rocks, Arizona gives in to her attraction to Lauren. Although Burton Morgan's character only appears for 3 episodes, the ramifications of her presence remain for the entirety of Callie and Arizona's relationship. Number 23, Ernie Hudson. When you've got a softball game in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? That's right, Ernie Hudson. The actor made it big as Winston Zeddemore in the Ghostbusters franchise, even reprising this part in 2021's Ghostbusters Afterlife. Naturally, he kept the character fresh for modern audiences. In between, Hudson ventured into the Grey's Anatomy universe, appearing as a surgeon from a rival hospital. Brad McDougall spends his time on screen mocking the doctors from Seattle Grace Mercy West. The character's competitiveness gets out of hand as he keeps trying to rile up his opponents.
He's looking a little tired. Wouldn't want anyone napping in the OR. The last thing you guys need is a malpractice suit.
It's a far cry from the likable Winston that fans are used to, but also demonstrates Hudson's range as an actor. Number 22, Danielle Panabaker. This actress has an extensive list of credits, including movies like Sky High, Friday the 13th, and the HBO miniseries Empire Falls. But she's best known for playing Caitlin Snow on The Flash, a part that cemented her as a fixture in comic book fandom. Years before her star-making role, she stopped by Seattle Grace Mercy West.
Dr. Altman attached 2 devices to her blood vessels. Now, this machine now pumps the blood through her body, which is basically a miracle.
Her character, Kelsey, poses a challenge for the doctors. Due to a failed transplant, Kelsey operates without a heart. With things looking dire, she tries to spend her final hours experiencing the joys of life. Fortunately, a last-minute organ comes to the rescue. Although it's a one-off appearance, the medical case of Panabaker's character remains among the most unique that Grey's Anatomy has tackled.
Everything looks great.
Deal. Awesome, huh?
Number 21, David DeLuise. If you grew up during Wizards of Waverly Place's time on air, you probably still see David DeLuise as everyone's favorite TV dad.
He's the guy at the store said only a professional could put it up, but he doesn't know my dad.
Well, you got that right. The Russo boys are on it. We're gonna need more glue.
Animation fans might also recognize him as the voice of Coop from the sci-fi series Megas XLR. DeLuise plays the similarly happy-go-lucky Charlie Connor on Grey's. The character's ailment doesn't need any explanation, given that he's missing part of his skull.
Titanium. Like the Terminator.
And I'll take fat from the belly and fill in the gaps. Pull your face into shape.
So, Doc, what are you using to fasten the new skull into place?
Despite a freak accident, Charlie remains upbeat and fascinated with his upcoming surgery. DeLuise channels some of his wizard's optimism in the role, making Charlie one of the more likable guest characters in the series. Number 20, Vanessa Marano.
I really think that she needs some fun, with it being 4th of July and that being all patriotic and making her think about her brother. So I think we should all do something together.
1 year into her run on the show Switched at Birth, Vanessa made a guest appearance on Grey's Anatomy. In the season 8 episode, The Girl with No Name, Marano played Holly Wheeler. Holly was brought into the hospital after being found injured in a ravine.
No one's gonna hurt you. We just need to know your name.
He called me Susan. I think it's Holly.
During the episode, we discover that Holly was a girl in a famous case of kidnapping some time ago. Super Shonda Rhimes fans might remember that Marano has also made appearances on Private Practice and Station 19.
I never got your name.
Molly, but everyone calls me Molly.
And although all 3 shows are in the same universe, Vanessa has played a different character on each show. Not that that bugs us or anything. Number 19, Leslie Odom Jr.
No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened.
8 years before he won his Tony Award for his portrayal of Aaron Burr in the Broadway mega hit Hamilton, Odom Jr. made a guest appearance on Grey's Anatomy. In the season 5 episode, There's No I in Team, Leslie played PJ Walling, a young man who was offered $10,000 to donate his kidney by his father, who was in chronic renal failure.
So when do I get the $10,000 before or after the surgery?
He had done some TV work prior to his appearance on the show, with multiple episodes of CSI Miami under his belt, among others.
Sylvania, Iowa, no Prince matching Halleys.
But he wasn't the recognizable star he is now, all thanks to Hamilton. Number 18, Kyle Chandler.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
If you thought being the coach of a high school football team in Texas was a rough job, try being a member of the Seattle Police Department bomb squad. While having clear eyes and full hearts worked out well for Kyle on Friday Night Lights, things didn't go quite as well for his character, Dylan Young, on Grey's.
Her hand is holding that device steady.
We don't want to spoil anything for those who might just be getting into the show now, but we can say that Dylan is still one of the medical drama's most memorable characters, even though he appeared way back in season 2.
Just stay right where you are. Nobody moves, stay exactly where you are.
Number 17, Nev Campbell. Unlike some of the folks on this list who became famous in the years after their appearance on the show, Campbell was at the height of her stardom when she did her episodes.
All that research on secondary smoke, it just seemed wrong.
12 years after Party of 5 ended, and 1 year after the release of Scream 4, Nev appeared in 2 episodes in season 9. She played Dr. Lizzie Shepard, sister of the great Dr. Derek Shepard.
You adopted a baby and you never invited us to come meet her.
Fans will definitely remember Derek's other sister Amelia, who had a much larger role on the show, but many have forgotten about Lizzie, who is also a doctor. Sounds like it runs in the family.
Look, if you want to be a sister, I am delighted, but then act like one.
Number 16, Joshua Bassett.
Soaring, flying, there's not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
Before you saw him in High School Musical, the series on Disney+, you might have seen Bassett in the Disney show Stuck in the Middle, where he appeared in 9 episodes.
At first I thought you didn't want to sit next to me. Like maybe you were embarrassed about losing your cool and recruiting an entire army of children to knock down your own fence.
However, in the time between his work with the Mouse House, he did a 2-episode stint on Grey's Anatomy. Bassett played Linus, a boy who met and became involved with Betty while they were in rehab together. After overdosing, Linus and Betty are taken to the hospital and, let's just say, well, this isn't a Disney movie.
What did she take? I need to know. Meth. We smoked some meth before the batch of pills came around.
Number 15, Fay Dunaway.
Seem to remember an incident with a clamp being dropped into an open body cavity.
There may not have been an actor with a better resume than Fay Dunaway to have ever stepped foot onto the Grey's Anatomy set. By the time she arrived at Seattle Grace, she had a 4-decades-long career that had seen her star in some of the most iconic films of a generation. These include Chinatown, Bonnie and Clyde, and Network, the latter for which she took home an Oscar.
This is terrific stuff.
Dunaway brought all that experience and more to her role as Dr. Margaret Campbell, the hospital's first female surgeon.
I am only human as any of us. And for that, I do not apologize.
Number 14, Mark Pellerino.
Doctor, Michael's a big boy. He doesn't need you to perform make-believe medicine, right, Michael?
Having someone with supernatural powers could come in very handy at a hospital. But unfortunately, Pellerino was a couple years away from making his first appearance on Supernatural when he showed up in the ER. Although, come to think of it, we aren't sure Lucifer would really fit in a hospital setting.
You always wanted to be normal, Sam. If you are, you'll be dead in a week!
Pellerino appeared in the season 4 premiere of Grey's Anatomy playing Chris. He was a man who showed up at the ER with a bleeding deer in his truck and a bloody arm in his hands. For those worried about the deer, Izzy was able to save it, while the arm belonged to a pregnant woman who was in a car crash. Number 13, Seth Green.
How am I doing?
Strong and stable.
So you may recognize this guy from the original It, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or perhaps as Scott Evil from the Austin Powers franchise.
Oh, come on! I mean, first I'm not evil enough for you. And now you're gonna turn good?
Seth Green is also the creator of Adult Swim's Robot Chicken, along with being the show's featured voice.
Even Superman can't outrun, a bullet. Oh, my face! You hit me in the eye!
Back in 2007, he appeared on Grey's Anatomy as Nick Hanscom, a patient with a tumor on his carotid artery. Spoiler alert, it doesn't go well for Nick. Just ask Lexi Gray, who was at the receiving end of an unfortunate blood burst.
You, checking in on me again?
Yep.
Will you call me strong and stable again?
After the blown artery and a stroke, Nick Hanscom passes away, marking the end of Seth's narrative arc. Number 12, Kiki Palmer.
Oh, you did it. You did it.
For her lead role on Nickelodeon's True Jackson VP, this starlet was one of TV's most well-paid teenage actresses. Later on, Kiki Palmer starred on the Fox series Scream Queens. 1 year before her first episode as Zayday Williams, Kiki briefly appeared on Grey's Anatomy as Cheryl Jeffries, a 17-year-old patient with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. When surgery doesn't work, Cheryl takes off and gets pregnant, which gives her a new perspective.
I'm what you're looking for. HLHS with at least one failed conduit procedure. That's me.
She hopes to become a candidate for Christina's clinical trial, but unfortunately, she's past the age cutoff and gets rejected.
Look, I'm doing 6 weeks. I want a heart that's gonna survive it, okay?
Number 11, Tessa Thompson.
Okay, so, you know that feeling when you look into someone's eyes and you're totally comfortable and you aren't self-conscious and everything just is like perfect.
Many years before she entered Westworld, Tessa Thompson entered Seattle Grace Hospital as Camille Travis, but only in season 2, as the niece of Dr. Richard Weber was played by another actress in season 4. Camille had ovarian cancer when she was 14, and when she passes out while having sex during her prom, doctors make the sad discovery that the cancer is back, and it's worse than before.
I wanted to go to prom. I didn't want to be the girl with cancer again.
Tessa, like Vanessa Morano, also appeared on multiple shows in the Grey's universe as different characters. 3 years after her 2-episode stint as Camille Travis, Thompson played Zoe Salter in 2 episodes of the Grey's spin-off Private Practice.
I can't believe this. This isn't happening.
Number 10, Christina Ricci.
The baby weighs 10 pounds. The cannonball weighs 20 pounds. Which will hit the stone walkway first?
Ricci was in the same episode of a 2-part story that saw Kyle Chandler become a hero and fan favorite. Remember when we told you that Chandler played a member of the bomb squad? Well, he was at the hospital because a patient came in with an unexploded bazooka ammunition in their chest.
So I'm touching live, unexploded ammunition.
And the person holding the ammunition and stopping the bleeding with her hand was the paramedic Hannah Davies, played by Ricci. Christina was a pretty big star at the time, and the first of the 2 episodes, It's the End of the World, was aired following the 2006 Super Bowl. That same episode is still the show's highest rated and most watched ever.
What if I just take my hand out really quickly?
Number 9, Theo Rossi.
Can you get my wife? She works here. She's an X-ray tech.
Some call him Juice, while others know him as Shades.
You're gonna at least wait for Chico to come outside, right?
Over the years, Theo Rossi has earned a loyal fan base for his Sons of Anarchy and Luke Cage roles. For his 2-episode run on Grey's Anatomy, Theo plays a paramedic named Stan Giamatti, the unfortunate victim of an ambulance crash. The character actually gets wedged in a door, but survives long enough to reunite with his wife. But just as Seth Green's character passes away in the episode Crash Into Me Part 2, poor Stan also has the same fate. Number 8, Elizabeth Moss. Let's be honest, most people know this actress as Peggy Olson from Mad Men. Elizabeth Moss also delivered award-winning performances in Top of the Lake and The Handmaid's Tale.
It was nice to finally meet you.
You too.
During Grey's Anatomy Season 3, she appeared in 1 episode as Nina Rogerson, the daughter of a 41-year-old patient with a rare bone disease.
The reason you've gotten this far, our treatment plan works. It will work.
The episode aired just 4 months before Mad Men premiered, so Moss was still relatively unknown. The character's mother passes away, and Nina obviously has a rough time. This role essentially marks the rebirth of Elizabeth's extraordinary television career.
Nina, there was nothing any of us
No. It was a mistake.
Number 7, Sarah Paulson.
This is no job for a nurse. I'll take it from here.
You know very well I'm not a nurse. Back off.
Marsha. This prolific actress famously starred as Marsha Clark on The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and she's also an American Horror Story regular.
He got away with beating her. He is not going to get away with killing her.
Though Paulson only appeared in 1 Grey's Anatomy episode, the role is significant. She plays Meredith's mother, Dr. Ellis Gray, who suffers from Alzheimer's disease.
Guess it's just you and me, kid.
Surprise, surprise.
The character shows up in a flashback sequence as Richard Webber reflects on his former colleague. The episode examines the rise of AIDS in the early 80s, along with the relationship between the 2 doctors who are trying to understand each other, and the nature of a frightening disease originally known as GRID.
I gave birth to a child, Richard. That makes me a mother. It doesn't make me inept. It doesn't make me less of a woman. It doesn't make me less of a surgeon. No matter how much everyone wants it to.
Number 6, Liza Weil.
I had 15 surgeries. And then I said, enough. Forget it.
Hey, isn't that Paris Geller from Gilmore Girls and Bonnie Winterbottom from How to Get Away with Murder? Why, yes. Yes, it is. In a Season 5 episode of Grey's Anatomy, Liza Weil plays Allison Clark, a stage 4 cancer patient who forms a bond with Izzy Stevens during chemotherapy treatment.
Are you watching birds fly around my head again? Am I like totally Snow White right now?
The character ultimately passes away, and Liza Weil's moving performance opened the door for other roles. By the way, her Gilmore Girls co-star Edward Herrmann appeared in 3 episodes from Grey's Anatomy Season 4, playing what's seemingly the world's oldest intern.
Norman's an intern, Dr. Shepard.
Oh!
My intern.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good.
Number 5, Millie Bobby Brown.
Do you think I hurt her?
No.
When Millie, appeared in an episode of Grey's Anatomy in 2015, most people watching wouldn't have thought anything of it. She was just an actress playing the part of a girl who performs an emergency medical procedure on her mother while doctors provide her with instructions over the phone.
Her lips are blue. Why are her lips turning blue?
However, the following year, Stranger Things premiered on Netflix and everything changed.
How do I know what I like?
At the time her episode aired, Brown wouldn't have even been considered for this list, and now she finds herself all the way in this spot. Number 4. Abigail Breslin.
I have superpowers, okay?
When only 5 years old, this actress starred in M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. A few years later, Abigail Breslin received an Oscar nomination for Little Miss Sunshine. In the mid-2010s, she transitioned to the small screen as Libby on Scream Queens.
No! How could you do this to me?
Nearly a decade before, Abigail appeared in one Grey's Anatomy episode as Megan Clover, also known as Supergirl, a kid who does not feel pain whatsoever.
Who did this to you?
I did. I didn't want to go to the doctor again, so I just stapled it. It's no biggie.
It's revealed that Megan suffers from internal injuries and CIPA, congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis, which requires a corrective surgery. Overall, it's an emotional performance that allows Abigail to be tough and vulnerable, as she learns just how much her foster parents truly care.
I thought you said I didn't have superpowers.
Yeah, well, you don't. But take away Green Lantern's ring, the guy's still a hero, right?
Number 3. Mandy Moore.
Is there anything I'm looking forward to once my surgery is done? Babies. Lots and lots of babies.
Since releasing her breakout single Candy in 1999, this versatile performer has established herself in both feature films and television. Back in 2010, Mandy Moore appeared in 4 Grey's Anatomy episodes as Mary Portman, who initially comes in for a colostomy bag reversal surgery. Unfortunately for the character, a shooter emerges at the hospital, yet Mary survives and is reunited with husband Bill. Despite a successful surgery in season 7, Mandy's character slips into a coma and never wakes up, leaving her loved one to make a heartbreaking decision. Number 2. Dylan Manette.
Let's call your mom, kid. You're gonna get some ears.
Before appearing in films like Prisoners and Don't Breathe, this actor appeared in some of the most celebrated TV shows of the 2000s. Currently most recognized for his role as Clay Jensen on 13 Reasons Why, Dylan Manette once appeared as a guest star on Grey's in its 4th season. He plays Ryan, a character with no official last name. However, the character is probably best known for not having external ears.
You're not my father, but I am hoping to build me some ears.
In this storyline, Ryan bonds with Meredith while trick-or-treating, ultimately leading to a pro bono ear reconstruction.
Trick or treat!
Get it. He's trick-or-treating for ears.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Demi Lovato.
Just put it down. It's gonna be okay.
They're a movie star, a pop star, and a television star. Believe it or not, it all began with a role on Barney and Friends. And just as Demi Lovato's adult career reached new heights in 2010, they appeared on a season 6 Grey's Anatomy episode as Haley May. The character has a rough time at Seattle Grace, as Haley is incorrectly diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
This role allows Demi to show off their acting chops, and the character arc has a happy ending, as Haley is finally correctly diagnosed with superior canal dehiscence syndrome and undergoes successful surgery.
I'm good. I'm good.
Did we miss any of your favorite stars who guest starred on Grey's? Let us know in the comments.
You shouldn't be reading your own chart.
I want to find out what caused me to swerve my car into oncoming traffic and not be able to remember it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.